Give it some time because...
Oh!
I give it some time because the Facebook one turns on after the YouTube one.
Okay.
Yeah, YouTube happens the moment I click it. Facebook, you get it started.
Okay. Yes, son. Yes, Master Technician. Fine.
Okay.
May I start now, son? May I start, Mr. Technical? I got it all squared away. There shouldn't be any issues. And nobody even hears me doing this pre-show nonsense because you've got things locked in. Can I start, please? Please?
Not with that attitude.
Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. The Brad Stine Show is coming to town. Do. He's making a list. That sounds a little creepy. He's checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty or nice. The Brad Stine Show is coming to town. Why? He sees you when you're sleeping. Sounds illegal. He knows when you're awake. Sounds like a stalker. He knows if you've been bad or good. Sounds judgmental and legalistic. So be good. For goodness sake. Oh, sounds relativistic. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. The Brad Stine Show is starting right now.
The mics are on though.
Okay, fine. See if I care. All right. Well,
it's probably awkward.
Yeah. Well, anyways, hey, flax. Hey, flax. Hey, wheat, flax, and other grains. Welcome to another Monday night edition of the Brad Stine Show. This is me, Brad Stine, brought to you by Christian Podcast Central, where if you want to centralize your Christian podcast, you're going to want to be on that channel, or watch that channel, or subscribe to that channel, or donate to that channel, or at least make sure that you can find the channel and make sure that you utilize it properly. It's also brought to you by Glockstore.com, where all of your magazine needs and ammunition, as well as parts and muzzles, are there for the taking. I'm here, Brad Stine, God's comic. You may have seen me on the numerous clips of my back catalog of hours and hours of knee-slapping hysteria of people who oftentimes have compared me to Red Skelton. Now, if you're looking at me like my son is, going, who in the heck is Red Skelton? You were born probably in the 90s. Son, when were you born?
In the 90s.
Boom! Can I call it?
Wow, how did you do it?
Let me ask you this question. And by the way, if you don't know what the show is all about, if you're on this brand new, let me make this very clear. If you're on for the first time, if you're not on for the first time, then you seriously have a mental disorder. If you keep coming back. Right, Wyatt? Anyways.
I mean, I keep telling them, but they just keep coming back.
They don't listen to you. You're at Lowe's half the time. My son works at Lowe's. Anyways, I do need to let you know that if you're here brand new, that voice you hear that comes over the ethers is my son, Wyatt Stine. He is the guy that produces, does the tech work. He's my right-hand man. He's my funny guy that I get to talk to and my kind of my sidekick. Plus, he works dirt cheap. Why is that, Wyatt? Why do you work for dirt?
Well, simple. The voice is dirt. The rest of me, that's solid gold, baby.
Wow.
And you don't get the money for that.
That's my boy. He knows how to use those words in his tongue to accomplish whatever he wants, as long as he doesn't have to be viewed, because he does not want to be hounded for autographs as he goes to Lowe's. That's right.
Yeah, you called it right. I have learned how to use my mouth and my tongue to create sounds that people can somehow articulate as words.
Okay, well, you might have meant interpret as words, not articulate. That means you were speaking. So once again, now you know why you're my sidekick.
Am I not speaking, though?
You are speaking, but you...
So it's right, then.
Anyways, that's him. That's my wonderful son, Wyatt, who stays out of the limelight because the last thing he likes is light or limes. But here's the deal. I want you to understand that this is comedy, conservatism, and Christianity, and a cacophony of clarity. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about a few things that need to be discussed. But before we do that, let me tell you where I've been, what I've been up to. Wyatt, I'll bet you're concerned, right? Don't you always wonder and weep in your bed at night when your dad goes off on a trip? Oh, Lord, please bring my father back. How will I survive without him? Is that normally how the prayer goes, son?
Sure. Let's go with that.
Well, you tell me then. I don't want to put words in your mouth, or in this case, prayers.
So, usually it's... Where was he walking again? Yeah. Was he coming back tomorrow or Saturday?
Yeah, and...
Did I leave the stove on?
Right, or can I have the car keys? Anyways, I need you guys to know where I was, so you know where I'm going. So, yesterday morning... I arrived back home. I was actually I arrived yesterday morning back home in Nashville, Tennessee in the afternoon. That morning I was in Cody, Wyoming. That's a matter of fact. If you go on my Facebook page, you can see I did a quick little live Facebook to let you know I'm backstage in Cody, Wyoming. It was very windy, and it was very Cody-esque. There were many Codyites there who are, what people refer to themselves as are Codyites, or in this case, where we live, Nashvillians. Wyatt?
Tennesseans, I think.
Tennesseans, okay.
I don't think that was specific, are they?
All right, yeah. No, that's a much bigger leap from Nashvillians to Tennesseans. Well done. Using the ands, but adding a different pretext. So, well done, son.
It just rolls off the tongue better.
Yes, yeah. Rolls off the tongue that you articulate?
I mean, listen. Are they called Floridians or Tampa-ians?
Oh, Tampa-ians. I never thought of it like that.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it doesn't make sense, son, and that's why we're on this podcast, to help make sense of the senseless.
And making fun of Florida.
If that's necessary, yes.
Yep.
Yes, it is. I love Florida, by the way. Florida is one of my favorite states. It is very humid, lots of thunderstorms, which is my favorite weather, I might add, so I love thunderstorms. And it just is so odd because they let their alligators run wild, and nothing to me says risk and Americana like having the opportunity and the very likelihood in your lifetime of having a limb chewed off by a wild animal that they consider to be sacred.
I mean, you say that as though it's feasible to tell an alligator, stop, don't bite my face off. I don't really think the alligator cares much about that.
Why wouldn't he?
Well, for starters...
Listen, if a dog can bite your face off, why can't an alligator? And yet we have dogs as pets.
Well, no. I'm not saying alligators can't. I'm saying you can tell a dog, no, don't do that. And 9 times out of 10 it listens. Mm-hmm. Try that with an alligator. Let me know how that turns out.
Okay, so what you're saying is you are speciesist because you consider alligators beneath dogs when it comes to intellect. Honestly, and temperament.
No, I would in fact consider them more intelligent than dogs, because if I've got the capability to bite someone's face off, and I am stopped because somebody says, no, stop, don't do that, you know what, then I'm dumb. Alligators know what's up.
Okay.
If they've got an agenda, they're going to bite my face off, and they ain't going to let me tell them otherwise.
Nice. I really think you could make a bumper sticker that would go like wildfire. Alligators know what's up. That's what my son said. Well, I was just in Wyoming. I had a great time. Before that, before I was in Wyoming, I was in Columbia, Tennessee, working with Williamson County moms. They are a group of moms that get together, go into the meetings for the school boards to fight against critical race theory and any other kind of cancerous crap that people are trying to shove down our institutions to destroy our young, so that they can go forth and hate their country and destroy it, so that they can become a socialist dictatorship and lose all of their freedoms and be happy all the way. Because let's face it, all of the left is smarter than us, and we need to submit to whatever they desire. I mean, that to me is what freedom's all about, is being unfree. That's what they're teaching in universities. Something needs to be done. The people need to rise up. That's what, that's what.
Well, look.
Why are you trying to say something?
Yeah, just think of it this way. Everybody's free, but some people are more free than others.
Right. What are you trying to get at?
Oh, nothing else. No, I was just thought I'd say that.
Okay.
You know, inject.
So you're making a sort of another way of Animal Farm, and
basically,
okay.
It's a good book.
Excellent book. It really is.
Very misleading title.
Very much so. I remember when I first read it, I thought it was going to teach me how to make corn.
No, I thought it was about like farming stuff. You know,
that's what making corn meant.
But no, they got rid of that farm right away.
Yeah, right off the bat, they eliminated the farmer, and that was key. Well, this is something I wanted to mention you guys, though. So before I was in Columbia, I was in Denver, Arvada, Colorado. I was performing for a wonderful church, Grace Church, Rick Long, a wonderful pastor there, a man who has $500,000 in fines from the city because he refused to shut down his church or demand that they have masks. So he has $500,000 in fines. He's not afraid. He's a man of God, a true pastor of courage, much unlike the majority of pastors in the United States. That's why America's going to eat it, because there's not men running the pulpits anymore. But for those who are willing to say, nope, unconstitutional, nope, religious liberties are being overtaken. Yes, the church is essential and more essential than anything you got to add in the meantime. And so I was at his church, and I did the Spirit of America show. Now, you guys need to know what that is. Spirit of America show is an amazing show that I do with a friend of mine named Jonathan Ciliafaro, which I've mentioned before. He's an opera singer, and he is a legal immigrant from Italy. He has a thick Italian accent, but he's an opera singer. And if you've never heard opera live, you have to. Because I know you're thinking, opera's boring, I don't want to hear it, I don't understand it. It seems to be in Italian, I don't even know what they're saying. Why do you speak Italian?
I can't even joke in an Italian accent because I don't know what that sounds like.
Okay, well, anyways, if you knew how to speak Italian, you would probably have a much greater affinity of the opera.
Isn't that just sort of speaking English with that whole hand thing, like, pasta pizza pie?
That's it. Or, for example, you're a gamer, you've played with Mario. It's like that. They all sound like Mario.
Actually, unless you're watching the cartoon show, in which case he's Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn or New York.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe. I don't know. I'm not addicted to games like you are at 25. I know it. I can't believe I've got a life. Anyways,
Sorry, I continue.
Okay, I'm trying, son. But thanks for giving me permission to continue on my own show. Anyways, I was in Arvada, and I was performing the show. He comes up, he sings opera. If you hear it live, it's beautiful, it's amazing, it's very haunting, romantic. Then he talks about moving to the United States, becoming a citizen, how much he loved it, sings, brings me up. I do comedy that lifts up God and country and tears down political correctness. For all my fans out there, why do I tear down political correctness? Because I want to watch political correctness die in my lifetime. But first, I want to watch it suffer. So that's really an old routine of mine, but I use it all the time. And then he comes back up and we sing a grand finale song, the Battle Hymn of the Republic, to remind us what we are fighting for, what we're losing, and what we need to regain. So it's a great show. But I got sick. Here's what I was trying to get at. I got sick. I got kind of a chest cold or whatever. And I realized something. I wasn't concerned about having a chest cold. I wasn't concerned about having a snotty nose. I wasn't concerned about having to travel, being a little bit under the weather. Wyatt, do you know what I was concerned about?
Just losing your voice and not being able to do the show?
No! Try again.
Price of gas?
No! Try again.
You should probably be afraid of that because it's going up and it ain't stopping.
Okay, well, here's good point. No, what I was concerned about was I realized something that maybe you guys have realized. You can't sneeze anymore without people thinking you're going to kill them. Suddenly, a sniffle has people looking at you in public like you're Typhoid Mary. Like, what is wrong with you? Now, I had a chest cold. So I'm kind of hacking up and coughing a little bit. Not terribly, but enough. And I realized I don't want to get on an airplane and cough because I'm afraid they're going to somehow throw me off. They're going to stinking duct tape me to the ceiling. I don't know, put me in the overhand bin. But I realized you can't even get sick naturally in America anymore because somehow this is going to put you into a class of the untouchables, which is exactly what they've tried to create. Oh, you're unvaccinated. Well, you're below us. You're evil. You're destroying everybody. Oh, you won't wear a mask. You're evil. Why? The mask isn't for you. It's for everybody else. I love that concept of shaming people into saying, we don't care if you die. We don't care if you eat it. We don't care if you go because you're not necessary. But we want you to protect these other guys. You know, the people that have the vaccination, people that are wearing the mask, the people that have taken the booster and are still getting corona and spreading it, they're the ones we need to save from you guys who don't have the mask, don't have the vaccine, don't have symptoms, don't have corona, and yet somehow you're the problem. Yeah, that is the science that we're being settled in front of our eyes. Let's see who's here today, Wyatt. Who came first? Karen Van Slut! Luff! Hi, Brad and Wyatt. She made it. She beat Wyatt. Do you know who she beat? Nick Crash!
No.
The
Nick Crash?
Yes! Jason Copenhaver. Hey, buddy. He's there. James Lyons is Mississippi. Shauna Fredericks here. Dusty Wilhelm. Hey, buddy. Dustin Ritarakai Murden says, hello, sir. And Dustin, always refer to me as sir or my personal pronoun, Your Majesty. All right, what else we got out here? He is your parents. That's how he knows so much. That's true. Here again is Force Baney. Keep coming back, Force. We need you. Johnny Brower's here. Dear God, don't quit your day job. Yes, exactly, Steve Whaley. Hey, Brad, that's Jim Bruna. Carrie Rochelle's here. Rebecca Daly-Dwyer. Karen, you made it at about 27th place. What's wrong with Karen? Do you think she's losing feeling in her right and left hand and unable to push the start button? What do you think?
That's a good question. I mean, you used to be on top of this.
Do you know what she said?
What?
She said, I'm in a crazy mood. I'm wild and crazy. Why? Do you consider me in a crazy mood right now?
Well, to be fair, your benchmark is a little unhinged, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Okay. I've got an unhinged benchmark. And if you've ever had your benchmark unhinged, you know how painful that can be. Who else is out here, Wyatt? Andrew George. Last week, Stephen Crowder misremembered your material as George Carlin. So he attributed your dolphin and the tuna bit to George Carlin. Really? That surprises me because I was just talking to Stephen's dad yesterday because they're starting a brand new app called Shout Out America, and it is the version of Cameo, but it's for conservatives and Christians, and they're just getting it launched, I think, today, and there's going to be about 5 or 6 artists who are going to be on Shout Out America that can do cameos if you want to say happy birthday to somebody or wish them something or Merry Christmas, and you can go on, and I would do a personal invite, but it's not Cameo, it's going to be on Shout Out, and Darren Crowder, Stephen's dad, is the one that helped launch and facilitate that. The first 5 or 6 people they have on as their first celebrity folks is me, Alex Jones, Dog the Bounty Hunter, the Hodge twins, and I'm trying to think. There's somebody else out there. I can't remember. But 5 or 6 folks, much more famous than me. But I'm in there too because, as I've told you guys the story before, that Stephen and Jordan, his brother, were fans of mine when they were kids, and their father, Darren, and his mom, his wife, were also enjoyed my stuff and thought I was a good influence on their boys, I guess. And so, so if Stephen gave it to George, I'm surprised because he would have known my material. But anyways, I'm glad he's still thinking about me, even if he's misremembering. Wyatt, you ever been misremembered?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. Well done. You're more upbeat tonight, Cody Craig. Hello, Wyatt. Listen, a lot of people keep saying I'm upbeat. Why? Do you think it has to do with the fact that I'm trying to revamp my show and get people prepared for 2022, or is it the Mountain Dew?
It's your benchmark. We've been over this.
Oh, my benchmark. Okay. Ashley Monique is here. So funny. Loved Red Skelton. Kara remembers Red Skelton. That means she's old. Rebecca is already here. Karen Van, we've got to talk to her. Dwayne Brotvold is here. Gregory Clark, Thomas Butler, Lonnie Huech, is here. Love to say Merry Christmas, especially when they say Happy Holidays. Well, listen, let me ask you this. This is a perfect time for me to jump into this next segment, Wyatt, because Lonnie Huke, I'm not even sure where Lonnie's from. It looks like he lives, if I can see. Holy smoke, you're not going to believe this.
What?
He is a salesperson at Hart Mac and Cheese, mechanical conveyor engineer at Bastian Solutions, and lumber and delivery at Lowe's Home Improvement. Wyatt, he's a fellow Lowe's brother.
Wow, honestly, that was the only part of that entire thing I actually understood.
Well, that's it. It's Lonnie Heck. But here's what he said.
Did I hear macaroni in that description of what he is?
What do you mean?
I could have sworn I heard you say like macaroni or something.
Well, it says that he is mechanical conveyor engineer. Oh, I got to find where that was. Anyways, I don't even find it. Oh, it says, yes, I did call you old. Karen, we are getting deleted. Oh, Nick said he's getting deleted. Now he's making excuses for failing this time. For crying out loud. Where in the world happened to the guy that was just talking to... Where was he?
Where's the macaroni guy?
I don't know.
I need the macaroni guy.
Oh, well. Anyways, wherever he is, he's out there. Let me just put it to you guys like this. I'm sorry, Johnny, I missed you. I lost you when I went to click on your name, but something about mac and cheese. But here's the thing. He was making mention about if somebody says Happy Holidays, I say Merry Christmas. Perfect segue, because that's actually one of the things we're going to talk about today. When I did mention in the title, is it okay to say Merry Christmas? Now, I'm going to bring up an old clip of my most famous album. Why? What would that be?
Put a helmet on, would be my guess.
I don't believe you got one for once. Holy smoke. I'll bet you can't name my other ones, but at least you got that one. But anyways, it would be my most famous, Put a Helmet On. And in that was a very famous rant. Now, it's famous for two reasons. One, because I guess it was one of the first comedians to make an issue about the fact that people were stopping Merry Christmas and that they were shutting them down. And later on, 3 albums later, I did a revised version of Merry Christmas, and I might play that this December since we're talking about Christmas stuff. But I'm going to do my original Merry Christmas rant from Put a Helmet On, 2003. And keep in mind, I want you to listen to this, not only because we'll talk about the idea of Merry Christmas, and hopefully it's funny to you, but more importantly, I want you to keep this in your mind because I got a special clip I'm going to play for you at the end of this podcast that will help you remind you of this rant that I'm about to do. But this is from 2003, my most famous album that launched me into the stratosphere as a Christian conservative unapologetic. It's from Put a Helmet On. Merry Christmas, Wyatt. Hit it, my son.
And I do thank God. I'm a theist. I do believe that there is an intelligent designer. I do believe there's purpose and value in life. And I bring up God a lot in my show. You know why? Because I miss him. I miss God in my country. I miss him. You'll never know these things. You're 16 years old. You've grown up with spring break, not Easter break. You grew up with winter break, not Christmas. You don't know what I'm talking about. That's the world you got. I remember when everybody cared. I remember when people used to say things like Merry Christmas to each other. Everybody said, Merry Christmas! Hey, Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Lowenstein. You know why? Because it wasn't about a religion. It was about something as a culture we thought was so valuable that we'd all do it together, even if I disagreed with the religion behind it, because it was good for all of us instead of just me. But what do people say now? Happy holidays. See, I just say happy holidays because I don't want to say Christmas because you don't believe in Christmas, because I don't want to offend you, because of the word offensive is driving me out of my mind. I mean, excuse me, sir, which part is more offensive, the peace on earth or the goodwill towards men rhetoric? It's such a disingenuous argument, it's not real. Oh yes, we want to say happy holidays because we don't want to leave anybody out. Really, how come there's a ton of holidays in February? Nobody ever says happy holidays in February, do they? They say what it is, happy Valentine's. Oh, do you believe in love? They don't care. Happy Valentine's is fine. Happy Hanukkah is fine. You see, that's what it's all about. In December, we've got 2 religious holidays, one cultural holiday, and one holiday that I'm not sure what it is, Boxing Day. Ever seen that? December 26th, Boxing Day. What does it mean? Nobody knows. Apparently, it's the day after Christmas. It must be all the fights we get in returning the junk we got the night before. Yeah, I'd like to return the fruitcake. We don't take it. Happy Boxing Day. Christmas, everything else but Christmas. Why? I know why. You do too. It's because it's got Christ in it, and that for 2,000 years he's still intimidating people. You see, when a religious person says, I'm the way, people don't want to hear it. They don't. They don't. And I want to say it to the rafters. I've even seen Christian people not say Merry Christmas. There are people in China right now, Christians, who are in jail because they had a page of the Bible. And Christians in this country won't even say Merry Christmas. It amazes me, the cowardice. That's the price you pay when you're rich and safe. Airline industry still hasn't recovered. You know why? People aren't getting on planes. They're afraid. Think of that. We have traded safety and comfort for freedom. We're going to lose this country if we talk like that. I say you got to say Merry Christmas because it is. You don't believe in it? Fine. But I have a flash for you. Christianity happens to be the religious heritage of my country, whether you like it or not. Christianity happened to be the belief system of 99.9% of the founding fathers, whether you like it or not. Every single founding father said that the Bible would be used as a fulcrum for the laws and ethics in this country, whether you like it or not. And they said it should be taught in school so kids would know where their ethics come from. So if you're not a Christian or you don't like it and you don't want Christmas celebrated, God bless you. But let me tell you something. If you think you're going to stop me from saying it because it offends you, hey, I got a flash for you. Put a helmet on. Or you don't like it and you don't want Christmas celebrated, God bless you. But let me tell you something. If you think you're going to stop me from saying it because it offends you, hey, I got a flash for you. Put a helmet on.
So that is a very famous clip, if I may say so myself. Wyatt, may I say so myself?
What? May you
Okay.
see what? I'm sorry. I'm making sure that
He took a nap while he played
I
that
didn't
clip.
take a nap.
He
I'm
did.
making.
He took a nap because
No.
my son, when he presses a button that gives him 3 minutes, he thinks is the perfect time to take a snooze. Now, I would like to blame it on narcolepsy, but unfortunately, I have to stick to lazy. Wyatt, I'm going to have to stick to lazy. So,
Well, I wasn't lazy. I was just testing to see whether or not you having that in the background when we switched back picked up on the microphone, which it did, by the way. So great job ruining that segue back to this.
oh my goodness. So I ruined it?
Oh, of course. Oh, is it even on
Now, the only way that could
conversation?
be picked up on the mic, though, of course, is if the mics were on, which are supposed to be muted when you're playing a clip. So
Well,
I'm sorry,
no,
being
no,
the
no,
tech
no,
guy,
no, 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 no,
being
no,
the
no,
tech
no, no,
guy
no,
and
no, no,
whatnot,
no, let's get
being the
one
tech
thing
support
clear here.
dude and everything.
Those microphones were off until the video ended.
Yeah, and then what happened?
Your video was still playing
Oh.
when it ended.
Okay, well
That's why I did the
Oh, my
hand
video was still
signal.
playing. Okay, well,
I
anyways.
gave you the hand signal and everything.
He gave me a hand signal. My son has a hand signal, and for him to raise one hand all the way up without losing his breath is quite a thing. Remember,
Do I even need to have hands? Like,
You
what's
don't.
the point? If
You
I can
don't.
even look at them.
Just point with your torso. That's all I need. He works at Lowe's, by the way, and when you work at Lowe's, it takes a lot out of you. I mean, mental stress, and then of course the constant kidding and embarrassment from the children that watch you as you leave with your vest on, saying, "You work there." So, anyways,
Yeah, either that or, where's the wrenches?
ah, yes,
I hate that
yes.
one.
Nothing is more satisfying to a child than to mock people who can't find wrenches like my son. Well, listen, the whole point of that clip was twofold. Number one, this is a show that I told you guys as I'm trying to figure out the best way to give you what I think I'm supposed to give, and hopefully that it's something that works and that you enjoy, is the comedy, but then also the conservatism, which means I want to comment about why I'm doing this comedy in the first place, because that's really the secret that many people didn't realize I was doing when I first started in this business 30 years ago. See, when I started comedy, and I've told you guys this before, I've told you stories of being in comedy clubs and being in redneck bars and all the different things that can take place and happen to you while you're trying to learn how to be a professional comedian, because it's very hard. And I was trying to be funny. That's hard. It's hard to be funny in front of a bunch of strangers regularly on a Tuesday night with 12 people in the crowd. It's hard. So you learn how to either get funny or get out, because there's no leeway. There's no safety net in comedy and professional stand-up comedy. There's really nowhere to hide. You don't have a bass player to take the lead. You don't have a lead player to take over. You don't have a vocalist that you can stand behind. You don't have a drum kit that you can hide behind And Wyatt, have you ever found yourself hiding behind the drum kit? See, he plays drums. He's very good at it. But what I wonder is it because you're an introvert, son, and you don't want to be seen just like on this podcast?
No. It's nothing to do with not wanting to be seen. It's just, unfortunately, the giant drum set that takes up like a quarter of the stage is generally not safe for the front center.
Good point. But I don't think your drum set is nearly the capacity of the late Neil Pearce. That was a drum kit unlike any I'd ever seen. It was like a small mobile home.
That was a drum kit he literally had to rise from the floor to get into.
Oh, there you go.
Because there was no room to go through it. Like,
wow.
It was basically a jungle of a drum set.
Like, no kidding. So my son was a big, huge Rush fan.
What do you mean was?
Still is.
The band still exists.
They exist.
In the
well,
past.
only in echoes.
Well, the recording still exists.
There, when I consider anything taped as an echo of what was done originally, and in this case, a test for echo. But anyways, what I wanted to bring up to you guys was that particular clip was done, and that comedy was developed because at that time, and this is I probably have told you guys this before, maybe I haven't, but people often when they come to my shows and see me live, and then afterwards I'm selling my DVDs, and again they're DVDs are running out of. People aren't using them like they used to, of course, because you can go get my stuff on Amazon and Vimeo and whatnot. But I still have them. I'm still selling them as long as there's people out there that still want them, because I want to meet folks. I like to perform and then shake people's hands and talk to them. And because I'm a comedian, I need you guys to be there. And Karen's been there. She's old. We've all established that. She's very, very old. But she's come to my show twice in South Carolina. Why? Did you know that Karen has come to my show twice in South Carolina, and also that she's super old? Did you know that?
I didn't know that she's been to multiple shows.
Yes, and she came, in a little, she has a little scooter that she sits on. She bought it from Walmart. I'm joking with you, Karen. She can take a joke, by the way. She's been to my show. She knows how I joke with folks. How if you're in the front row, you're doomed at my show.
Yeah.
But, and she, by the way, never sits in the front row because she is...
smart.
Yes. Old, but smart. So when I first began to work in churches and so forth, and I began to speak about things that mattered to me from my spiritual dimension, and I was sort of inculcating that into my comedy, it also had and came with this idea of the conservative values that have made America great. Now, again, for those of you who are new, who aren't used to listening to some of these ideas that are not necessarily mine, I try to read, I try to understand, I try to contemplate. But conservatism, in a nutshell, is simply conserving the wisdom of the ages. It doesn't mean conserving as in we're afraid of change. It means let's not change things that are superior to other things. Now think about this. To the left, anything new immediately takes precedent over anything older. Now this is odd because throughout generations of human history, it was always the other way around. Everybody that had a village or a tribe or a city or a country that wanted it to work and survive and be strong and robust realized that they needed to hold on to the things that had stood the test of time, had proven through wisdom and observation that this is a better way to live, this is makes the most sense, and that we need to conserve it. That's all it means, conservatism. Of course, it's trying to be redefined by those who despise it, because those that despise it can't stand deep foundational truths, or what we would call immutable truths. Now, let me also say this. Just because somebody has conserved something over time doesn't always mean it's what's best. I grant you that. You've had the feudal system for centuries, or monarchies. Does that mean that was the freest form of interplay socioeconomically? No. Capitalism has proven to win the day, and the science is settled as the idea that gave the most freedom, the most upward mobility, the most opportunities for the most people in human history. It created a middle class. It created the fact that people poor could become rich, or at least no longer poor. Capitalism even created the impetus for us to help other places in the world of people who were going to die of hunger and starvation, for us to have extra income and resource to help those people. So capitalism is a beautiful concept. Can it be abused? Of course. Can it be used to destroy people? Of course. Can people get an extraordinarily amount of more money than any of us will ever see in our lifetime? Absolutely. But why does it always presume? Why does leftists always presume? Why does socialists always presume? Why do communists always presume? Why do left-leaners always presume that if you're rich, you are immoral? Why do they make that bigoted, intolerant, hate-filled caricatures of dogmatic judgment towards people who happen to be filthy rich? Now, are there people who are filthy rich who live in a way that we could never understand and truly don't care about people below them, that have reached such a status place that they literally believe that they become megalomaniacs, like a Bill Gates, who really believes he should rule the world? I can't stand that. People who use their riches to presume upon themselves that they must be superior to the rest of us, otherwise why would I have accumulated all of these riches? It's why Jesus said, and if you're not used to my podcast, I talk about Jesus only for one reason, because he's God, who said the people that would have the hardest time making it into heaven would be the rich. So for those of you who think that those of us who are conservative, who oftentimes, if they are conservative, are also religious people. Now, why would that be? Because we're conserving the way that societies that have been successful and moral and ethical and virtuous, that have accomplished these incredibly difficult concepts in the human condition, have done that because they were Judeo-Christian. Now, does that mean that other religions don't have value? Yeah, they have value, and there's oftentimes religions that are dichotomous and yet have some similar morality, right? Islam has some of the same morality constructs as Christianity, which has similar constructs of Judaism, which gave it to us first, but Christianity took it to a different level. Because Christianity brought in the Messiah who said, let me give you the rest of the rules so you'll know how to move forward in your life. So, but the Judeo-Christian construct that created the West is where being a conservative has great value, because you get to see 2,000 years of a culture basing itself on moral values from a religion that claims to be the absolute truth. Now, this is where leftists simply lose their crap. They do not believe, and I want you to see, because you're my friends and my fans, and for those of you who might be out there that are new, I don't just want to sit here and say I'm a Christian conservative, so let's have all the Christian conservatives watch my show. Let's talk about being Christian conservative so we can all applaud how great it is to be Christian conservative. I'm not interested in that show. I am those things, but I use those things, conservatism and Christianity, as a fulcrum to try to move you into ways that you can live your life and see the world so that you can enhance it. And I wouldn't say that unless I believed what I believe to be true, that Jesus was actually God, that conservatism actually brings more value, more virtue, more maturity, more strength, and more disciplined to people than any other belief system. And why else? Who else would you want to meet? Listen, if I meet a leftist or a Marxist, at least if that's what you believe it. Understand what you believe, have a deep understanding of it, be able to debate it, be able to prove your point, be able to go and look at the actual data, actual facts of what has Marxism brought to people, suffering and horror, or uplifting and freedom. What has it done? Let's just weigh the actual data, and then we can draw conclusions. Conservatives always seek the reality and the truth of the situation, not their feelings. Another huge destructive force of leftism is feelings are simply more important than reality. Feelings are more important than facts. Now, this isn't right-wing rhetoric. This isn't me jumping on a bandwagon from my point of view. We have an untold amount of clips of people like AOC saying some people want, in an interview, and we've all seen it, that some people think that they would rather be morally correct. No. They would rather be factually correct than morally right or good. I didn't get it perfectly. Do you remember what the actual statement was, Wyatt? Yeah. Why would I ask you, son? You would not know that. Yeah. You don't even know what AOC means.
Anteaters overcooked.
My son believes that AOC is an acronym for Anteaters Overcooked.
I'm sorry, I couldn't think of a good word for A, okay? Jeez.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful, son. And I love to let my fans know that
Albatross.
I've passed my...
Albatross, that's a better one.
Okay, yeah, around your neck, I might add. But anyways, here's what we need to understand. That they live under an ideology, and this is so dangerous. It's so dangerous. These people live under this concept that is so superficial. I want to feel good. I want to feel good about myself. And the problem is they see it in such a superficial level. They see feelings on such a simplistic level that they don't understand that to really feel good about yourself should come with some hard feelings. To really feel good about yourself should come with some difficult choices. To really feel good, to really find peace in your life, there needs to be pain. You grow more from pain than from pleasure. This is the thousands of years of human beings from every walk of life, from the most Neanderthal, flint weapon-toting humans to 2021, sending telescopes to the ethers and the far reaches of the universe. From that dichotomy of the most simplistic human experience to the most incredibly sophisticated humans in human history. And yet there are some lessons that have never changed. There are some lessons in the human experience that have never changed. And one of them is you grow more from pain than from pleasure. That people who don't understand the Judeo-Christian ethic and the conservative ethic, that means you have to be disciplined. You have to submit yourself sometimes to a greater good. Sometimes you have to do without an immediate gratification so that you can get the long-term completeness that you're looking for, and that peace, and we're all looking for peace. We're all looking for peace. Really, have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about that when you're seeking for a better job, to get more money, to get better shape, to work harder in the gym, to eat better, to feel better about yourself, to be more robust, to get more sleep, to have a better marriage, to have a better home, to have a safer environment, to live in a better neighborhood, to have better friends, to have a better country, to have a better politician that we've elected. All of these things that we shoot for are really us seeking peace. I'm not at peace because I have too many bills. I'm not at peace because I don't make enough money. I'm not at peace because I don't get enough food. I'm not at peace because I'm not respected. I don't have I don't have peace because my marriage is on the rocks. I don't have peace because my husband left me. I don't have peace because I can't find a husband. I don't have peace because my wife is mean to me. I don't have peace because my wife is distant. I don't have peace because I don't have a wife. I don't have peace because I don't live in the right side of the tracks. I don't have peace because my house isn't big enough. I don't have peace because I'm not given the promotion I deserve. I don't have peace because I'm at the wrong church. I don't have peace because I'm going to church at all. I don't have peace because I don't feel good. I don't have peace because I'm older than I used to be. No. None of that has anything to do with it. None of it. Think about how superficial all of those elements are. And yet we live our life and drive our entire life on those ideas. That subterfuge that this is what will get me to peace. It never works. How do I know that? I'm a conservative. I'm a conservative, my friends, because it works. Because it evaluates the world using the wisdom of the ages, observing all of the different constructs that have been utilized to try to create civilizations and create cultures and create a sociology that works for people, and a human endeavor that brings the most good to the most amount of people. No, I'm not a utilitarian. That is a very neo-Darwinistic construct that whatever brings the most amount of good to the most amount of people is what matters. That's their version of trying to find morality, because an atheist cannot have morality. They can live moral lives, but they have to borrow from Christianity to find morality, because there is no such thing as morality in an atheist worldview. It is simply cultural constructs. It is simply cultural conventions. It is simply subjectivity of human beings choosing something they think might make them a little happier or give them a little bit longer lifespan than something else. But there is no absolute, objective, immutable truth or morality. It cannot exist based on the philosophy of atheism. If you're an atheist watching that, listen to me very carefully, because I've never met an atheist, never met an atheist that understands what I'm saying right now. Their mind can't figure it out, because the way they've taught themselves to think, they can't see what I'm saying, because they will always respond with what I'm saying by saying this. Oh, you're saying I can't be moral and be an atheist? No, I didn't say that. I said you can be moral and be an atheist. What I said was, but it doesn't come from atheism. There is no morality intrinsic in atheism. Because only with God can you have a transcendent morality by which you can base the choice that needs to be made so that human beings know what is actually moral. It is why the founding fathers told us that our natural laws and rights come from God. And you don't even have to believe in God, atheists, to get value from that, because there's many atheists that have said if God doesn't exist, we have to invent him. It's the only way we can find a morality that everybody has to agree with, whether they like it or not. That is simply philosophical pragmatism. Please understand. Please, if you're an atheist, understand. I'm not putting you down. There's atheists that come on my page and watch me, and they're good people. They're good people. So I'm not putting you down. I'm not degrading you. I'm not maligning your character. You might be some of the nicest, most moral people that I'll ever meet. I am giving you that. That's not the argument. You can't accumulate immutable, transcendent morality from the philosophy of atheism because it doesn't exist there. You have chosen to believe in a closed system. There is nothing transcendent. It is only matter and energy and time. That's all there is. And as Dawkins has said, what we see is a universe that really shows an indifference and pitiless indifference, I think he said. We see exactly what we think we'd see if there's no mind behind this. There's no purpose. And it fascinates me how atheists find glee in stating this case. Don't get too high and mighty, humans. You're not that important. Matter of fact, you're irrelevant. Aren't we amazing for discovering that? Don't you feel good about that? First off, there's nothing about that construct to feel good about. You're literally telling people you're meaningless. So that nihilistic view, which at least you're being consistent, it's the only view that comes out of the philosophy of atheism that comports to atheism, nihilism. But as I've always said, I find it fascinating that people will write a 500-page book concluding that life is meaningless and then find meaning in that conclusion. The fact they can't understand that you can't have anything to land on and feel you've accomplished or discovered or have revealed to humans anything of value if there is no ultimate purpose. Nothing matters, including your atheism and its agenda and conclusions. It's meaningless. Don't waste your time talking to Christians or putting us down or insulting us unless you get glee and joy out of harming and hurting people's deepest belief systems and convictions. If you get joy and glee in that, it would make sense. You got to find it somewhere. But it certainly is not a great indicator that atheism is something we should follow, because it just means you're a masochist and evil, dark. You find pleasure in harming other people's sacred ideas and religions. You find joy in that. Well, that makes you a sick person. That's not if that's a representation of atheism, if for that alone, it should be abandoned because it's dark and evil. So that's why it matters what conservatism gives us. There's a guy named William that comes on my site now and again, White, that's an atheist, and he's a real smart guy. I've seen some of his commentary and whatever, and he listens to me, and I think he knows what I'm saying. I think he's the kind of guy that said, yeah, you're right, that's how it has to be. And I appreciate that, honesty at least. Somebody that's able to accept, you're right, if I believe this, that comes with that territory. That is the price tag that I have to accept if I'm going to believe there is no God. And at least be honest. If you're doing that, I respect you. I respect you more than a Christian who claims to be a Christian and doesn't live that life as though it's true. That's the difference. Why? Does that make any sense to you at all?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay. So listen, guys. I told you that that you need to remember that clip I gave you about Merry Christmas. It was my first attempt to expose political correctness, cultural Marxism, and the destruction of the traditions that this nation needed so that we had something that could bring us all together and find a foundational concept that we all could believe was worth something that we all would sacrifice and commit to. Remember, celebrating Christmas wasn't because everybody was a Christian. They aren't. Jews would celebrate with us. And that doesn't mean they celebrated Christmas. They still celebrated Hanukkah. Or atheists would celebrate Christmas without believing that Jesus was God. I get all that. But we all said Christmas is worth saying Merry Christmas. That's why I made the joke about Merry Christmas to Mr. Lowenstein. Because a Jewish guy would say Merry Christmas. He didn't celebrate Christmas, but it was a nice sentiment. Well, you've offended me. That's why I came up with the line, what's more offensive, the peace on earth or the goodwill towards men rhetoric? Because it's ridiculous. Even the most secular humanist should believe in, actually does believe in, because they all claim, the secular humanist claims that all they care about is do good. This is the kind of stuff they put up on the atheists put up at Christmas time. Just do good for goodness sake. Just be good for goodness. You don't need God. Just be good because good is here. There is no good without God. It's just a cultural convention. It's subjectivity. It's your preference. It's your taste. But it's not good. If you can't grasp that as an atheist, abandon atheism. If you can't understand what it leads to, and you continue to try to act as though there's immutable truth and a goodness that transcends the material world that you say doesn't exist, a transcendent place, you're in the wrong religion. You have to self-refute what you say you believe to survive. Proves my point. You need God. Then you'll find your balance. 2004, there was a group of 3 men who were an a cappella group called Go Fish, and they were putting out a Christmas album. Actually, it was Christmas, and they were fans of mine. We had the same manager, and they said, listen, I wrote a new song for Christmas, and I love your material, and I wondered, do you mind if I sampled one of your routines? And I said, sure, I don't care, as long as you just put on the notes that the end notes that the rant that you're sampling is from Brad Stine, just so they know who I am. I mean, I might as well get something out of it. They didn't pay me, and that's all right. I didn't care. But I said, but just let them know who I am, and they did. And many, many, many people, that first year especially, it blew up. The song blew up, and but people would say, who's the guy speaking? And who is that? And many didn't know, and to this day, people didn't know. And I've still had people come up to me now and again, even this day, and say, hey, when I heard you talking, I recognize that voice. Are you the guy that's on? And so even to this day, this many, many years later, people are hearing that song and going, wow, you're the guy that was on the song. So for those of you who might know this song and didn't put the 2 and 2 together, or those who are hearing it for the first time, or those who never even thought about it, now you know the secret. The guy who actually was sampled onto this very hit song that plays every year on Christmas on Christian radio. May I give you Christmas with a capital C.
I remember when people used to say things like Merry Christmas to each other. Everybody said Merry Christmas. Hey, Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Lowenstein. You know why? Because it wasn't about a religion. It was about something as a culture we thought was so valuable that we'd all do it together, even if I disagreed with the religion behind it, because it was good for all of us instead of just me. But what do people say now? Happy holidays. See, I just say happy holidays because I don't want to say Christmas because you don't believe in Christmas, because I don't want to offend you.
It's called Christmas. Shop to get myself a mocha. The lady at the counter said, happy holidays. I said, thanks lady, I am pretty happy, but there's only one holiday that makes me feel that way. And it's called Christmas. What more can I say? It's about the birth of Christ, and you can't take that away. You can call it something else, but that's not what it'll be. It's called Christmas with a capital C. God's got a law and we've pretty much destroyed it. We're gonna get judged, there's no way to avoid it. But Jesus came down to take the punishment for me. He did it for you too, so now maybe you can see why it's called Christmas. What more can I say? It's about the birth of Christ, and you can't take that away. You can call it something else, but that's not what it'll be. It's called Christmas with a capital C. It's called Christmas.
Oh yes, we want to say happy holidays because we don't want to leave anybody out. Really, how come there's a ton of holidays in February? Nobody ever says happy holidays in February, do they? They say what it is. Happy Valentine's. Oh, do you believe in love?
It's called Christmas.
But nobody wants to say Christmas. Everything else but Christmas. Why? I know why. You do too. It's because it's got Christ in it, and after 2,000 years, he's still intimidating people. You see, when a religious person says, I'm the way, people don't want to hear it. They don't.
It's called Christmas.
I say you gotta say Merry Christmas because it is. If you don't believe in it, fine. But I have a flash for you. Christianity happens to be the religious heritage of my country, whether you like it or not.
It's called Christmas.
So if you're not a Christian, or you don't like it, and you don't want Christmas celebrated, God bless you. But let me tell you something. If you think you're gonna stop me from saying it because it offends you, hey, I got a flash for you. Put a helmet on. It's my country too.
It's called Christmas. What more can I say? It's about the birth of Christ, and you can't take that away. You can call it something else, but that's not what it'll be. It's called Christmas with a capital C. It's called Christmas. What more can I say? It's about the birth of Christ, and you can't take that away. You can call it something else, but that's not what it'll be. It's called Christmas. It's called Christmas. It's called Christmas with a capital C.
Get it off. So, that is what it looks like when you take a song and a sample of some comedy and you shove it together to try to make a little Christmas uniqueness. And that was a song that was huge for like the first year especially. It was gigantic. But at the time that was happening, people just weren't used to Christians standing up for themselves and saying, we love our faith, we love what it represents, we do believe it's true. So yeah, we got to talk about it. We got to bring it up. We got to mention it. It's our job. Now keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. If you were in your backyard and an alien landed, I might have used this metaphor before. Why did I use this metaphor before?
You've already got me lost, so probably not.
Okay. So if you're in your backyard, an alien lands, comes up to you and says, hey, I live up in another galaxy, just wanted to say hi, gets back in his thing and shoots off. Nobody sees it but you. And you go to your people and say, you're not going to believe what an alien landed in my backyard, came out, talked to me, they live in another galaxy, took off. And they're going, no, you're crazy. Prove it. And they said, well, I can't prove it because, well, come in my backyard, but there's no, because it had some kind of propulsion system that was so advanced that it didn't even, didn't make even crop circles. So that's how advanced this was. Because obviously these aliens that leave crop circles are certainly of a inferior race of saucer makers if they have to smash the crops when they land, right? Wouldn't a better group of saucer makers not even be able to leave a trace?
I think it's just that they're so excited they finally invented pie that they just had to share it with everyone.
Okay. They invented pie?
Yeah, pi, 3.14, that number.
They invented it?
Well, no, it's just circle and pi very closely connected.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, circumference and stuff.
Yeah, that's good. I have no idea what that means. And I'll tell you why. I don't know if you know this, son, because you're my son.
Uh-huh.
You've grown up with me. You kind of know me. Mm-hmm. I need to throw this, and maybe I've never mentioned this.
Okay.
When it comes to math, I suck.
No.
Yes, I absolutely suck.
I never noticed.
Yes. Now, you're very good at math.
I'm above average.
And you're very good at pie.
Slightly above average.
My son is so good at pie, he can eat it and calculate it simultaneously. So good he is. Am I right?
I mean, yeah, I'm not really that comprehensible because I got pie in my face, but I can do it.
Yes, right. That was kind of a crusty answer. Listen, here's the thing you guys need to understand. Traditions matter. A country cannot maintain its integrity. It cannot pass on what it has learned and what has gotten it this far. If it's successful, if it's been good, if it's been noble, excuse me. Sorry if I coughed. Put a mask on if it bothers you, if it frightens you. But you can't pass on the tradition of and the wisdom of your nation if you don't have a tradition to pass it on. If you don't say some things about my nation that are great, need to be held sacrosanct. And that's why the left destroys history. It's why it rewrites history. This nation has succeeded unlike any nation in human history. It has acquired more wealth, it has acquired more technology, it has acquired more help to more people. And because socialism, Marxism, communism can't do that, it has to suck the value out of this nation, try to take all of the goods from it, and then inject its cancer of Marxism here and act as though it has left a mark. Remember, as I've always told you, leftism and Marxism is always parasitical. It can't create anything. It just destroys everything and then acts like somehow it's done something valuable. By taking the wealth of those who've created it through capitalism and then sort of slapping communism moniker over the top of it and thinking that it will continue to survive, they think they've accomplished something, but they accomplish nothing. It's such an evil, dark, destructive belief system, and yet there are people that still believe in it and still believe in this sort of miraculous fantasy that communism will make everybody equal and everybody fair and everybody upright. But Christianity, which I told you is true, tells you, don't worry about it. There'll always be poor people. Don't worry about it. There's always going to be people that are sinners. Don't worry about it. There's going to be some people that are better than you in certain things. Don't worry about it. There'll always be people superior to you in certain ways. Don't worry about it. There'll always be people that are better at things than you are, and you'll be better at things than other people in other areas. So be okay with that. Be at peace. Learn to be content in all things. Back to peace. Back to peace. The thing we're all actually searching for, peace. Peace of mind, or in Wyatt's case, a piece of pie. So this is what my show, The Brad Stine Show, is trying to do. I want to inspire you if I can. Remember, I'm a regular guy. I'm a Christian. I'm a conservative. I've lived a life. I'm trying to figure things out. I'm not perfect. I am not your role model as far as who I am on the inside, because I'm a sinner, right? But I've been redeemed. I have been given a pass, a hall pass by Jesus, because I believe that he is God and died and rose so that I could be created holy, because he did it in his sacrifice, not on mine. So I give you those things, not because it's a religion, not because I'm trying to make you join my club. I want to give you peace. I want to give you a way out. This is December. It's the Christmas season. It is about peace on earth, goodwill towards men. I want to give you that, and I want to provide it as an option for you. So if you are smart, if you are wise, if you're an atheist out there, or an agnostic, you're probably smart. You're probably searching for peace. You're probably trying to find the answers to things. And the problem is you're trying to find it through science. Science doesn't have your answers. Science is a great, wonderful, amazing human invention. And it's beautiful. It has done wonderful things. But it is just a piece of the puzzle. It never teaches you why you're here. It cannot teach you how to be good or moral or ethical. Has none of those answers, because that's metaphysics and science is physics. So I want you to say that this December, as I give you my Brad Stine Has Issues and the Brad Stine Show clips, I hope that I'm informing you. I hope I'm inspiring you. This is the last month of 2021. If you believe in what I'm doing, if you want to watch this stuff continue to build around you, I told you that I was going to use donations to get the second camera. I got it. And get the second lens, I got it. Get the second tripod, I got it. Get the second head that holds it up, I got it. Get the second lighting so that I can have two people and try to have guests, I got it. Guys, you did it. I got it. It's here. And for 2022, I want to have it all set up so you can see a more robust version of the Brad Stine Show that you did because you believed that I had something to say that mattered. You hopefully came here initially because you liked my comedy. I hope so. I love doing that. But beyond that, I want to make a dent in America. And I love everybody. Listen, I have Australian fans. Oh, God, can you imagine being in Australia right now? I've got Canadian friends. Oh, can you imagine being in Canada right now? I've got England, UK followers and Irish followers and New Zealand guys that like what I do and Germans, I think, and who knows where else. So you're all worthy and valuable people. You're all made in the image of God. That's what Christians believe. But I'm born in America. This is the country I was given, and I am a firm believer that where you live is your territory that you're responsible for. So I was born in the United States. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I lived in Indiana. I was born there. I moved to Southern California. I lived there for many years. I now live in Nashville. And but I believe I'm called for a season such as this to America to try to find a humorous way, but hopefully an insightful way, to talk about what it matters, traditions of America, who we are, what the Founding Fathers actually were, where we're trying to go, what faith actually means. How does that participate in making for a better country, a better culture? That's what this podcast is trying to grow. And it's going to have to be longer. Clearly, it's going to have to go longer. I don't know if that's okay with you guys. I literally look in the lens and say to you guys, my friends, Karens and Benjamins and Nicks and all the people that come on all the time, Teresa and all of you guys that come on every Monday and have helped donate and helped pray for me and helped try to watch this thing through and watch it grow. You created this show because I look to you to tell me, am I onto something? Does this work? Does this matter? Is this anointed? Does this have value? I actually look to you to tell me, is this supposed to become more than this? Are we onto something? Are we onto something? I'm just doing my piece of the puzzle. This is your last month to donate. If you believe in what I'm doing and want to watch it grow. I told you this. This was stage one, to have a place that I could do this regularly, that was quiet and I could count on to dedicate to it. It exists. Number two, I said, was getting the equipment so I could have guests. I still got to get a table that's bigger. So by 2022, everything's probably going to look a little different. But, that's the point. You're watching it grow because you produced and created in this show. It's yours because you're the ones that gave of your time and your effort and told people about it and donating. But remember, it is a non-profit organization. So if you donate, it's a write-off. This is the last shot of writing off on your taxes. If you would rather pay the government, hang on to your dough. But if you'd rather give it to a non-profit where you can have it removed from your taxes, but allow me to speak these ideas about God and country to America and around the world and fight as I do at live events, and you'll know where I'm going to be. You can come see me live, and all the different types of shows that I'm creating. The Spirit of America with Jonathan, my opera singer. Another show I'll be doing with Kevin Jackson, the black conservative, and Tim Wilkins. Lots of things I'm doing in the future to fight for America, for freedom. If you believe in that and want to donate before the year's out, donate now. Please let me know, and you'll get a receipt at the end for your tax exempt status write-off. I'm sorry, and we'll grow. And by the way, anybody that gives over $100 this month, you can give whatever you want, obviously, but give over $100. Just say, I'll give over 100. I'll give you the link. Once you've done it, just say, hey, you want me to send a T-shirt signed to anybody of your choice? You just say, I gave $100. Here's the receipt. And then can you send a shirt to? And I've got a No Wussy shirt, and I have the bicycle shirt that I can send, and I'll sign it to you, whoever you want. So anyways, and if you don't want to do that, you just want to give, great. And if you don't want to give, pray for me. And if you don't want to do that, you just want to watch, I'm here until I'm not here. So you see, this thing's either going to blow up because God's got something in store for this and me, or it won't. And maybe I'm only good for this year, man. That was what it was for. I don't know. But I just want to say at the very beginning, as we're moving into the Advent season, Merry Christmas. God bless you guys. I'll be here next Monday. We might even have the new camera up by then and show you guys what we're on to. And so thank you for showing up every Monday. Please help me to overcome the throttling of Facebook and YouTube and share these, let people know. Let's see if we can bring people on and see if we can grow this into something substantial. So God bless you. Thank you so much for being here. I will be here next week. This is the Brad Stine Show. And please leave comments as to anything, ideas you might have as to how I can do this better, or if you like what you're seeing, let me know. It's not for my ego. It's so I can feel like I'm bearing fruit. Son, I gotta go. Are you okay? Anything more you want to say, Wyatt?
I'm good. I've said my 2 cents.
Son, I'm guessing that's really 1 cent, but thanks for trying. God bless you, folks. I'll be here next week. It's the Brad Stine Show. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. My son has a pie to bake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Next Monday, Brad will be here again.
Yeah, don't quit the day job, man.
Son, I don't have a day job.
Then you better start looking.
Okay, I heard Lowe's is hiring.